This is Soy,
And this is Dyra.
and you're listening to Hair and Whatever.
Unfiltered salon talk. Hey, y'all.
Hey.
What's up? What's up?
Soy and Dyra here. Hair and Whatever.
Hello.
And today we have a special guest, Angela
do.
Stanton, on the show.
Angela.
Say hi.
Hi, everyone.
And what we talking about, Soy?
What are we talking about?
So what we
That's always
talking
the
about?
question, right?
Yeah.
So we are talking about our hair portion is going to be I'm fine with not wearing my real hair. And I know a lot of women can relate, you know?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I can relate sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
Yeah.
And we're discussing, Angela discusses her truth about being a black conservative.
Absolutely.
Yes, and I'm so excited about this topic.
Yeah,
I
she
cannot
is.
wait to get into it.
Yeah.
Like,
Soy has all the questions.
let me
for
tell you, oh my
let's
God,
do
I
it.
had like so many questions.
But first, let's get into the hair crown of the week,
Yes.
which is Angela Bassett, and she was looking fly.
She was
as
looking
hell.
amazing.
On the what is it?
Emmys.
Purple carpet.
Mm-hmm.
At the Emmys. What was it, last night?
I have no idea. I'm never paying attention to that stuff.
I think it was
I
last
saw
night.
the picture. She was beautiful.
Yeah.
She looks so good.
Yeah, we'll put it on here.
Yeah.
All right,
But
so
she
let's
fly.
let's get into it. I'm fine with not wearing my real hair.
Me too. Definitely.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't know if I'm fine. Like, I can, like, change it up every so often. But, like, forever, ever, like, I don't think I would ever be fine without not wearing my real hair. Like, I like wearing clip-ins or I like wearing, a little track or two or wearing faux locks. But, like, I'll be ready to,
Yeah,
but
you
that's
be ready
just
to
my
sham-
personal, that's just my personal take on it.
Yeah,
you
you be
know?
ready to shampoo your hair. Like for me, like
Yes, and let it breathe.
and let
Right.
it breathe. And I do too, but I just be wanting it back in.
Right. And I mean, for me personally, I don't have that type of hair that'll keep a style because my hair is really soft and curly. So it's like even if I press my hair out or say you want to go get a Dominican blowout or whatever, as soon as the heat hits it, it shrivels right back
You
up.
gotta come
So,
out to us.
You do.
Yeah.
Let it style your curly hair, girl.
okay,
Yeah.
I will.
But then you
Or-
still be like me.
Right.
and
I'm
still
open
not
to
wear
try
it.
new things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only going to last for a day or two, I promise you, and then it's going to be
Really?
right back.
But have you wore your curly hair before? Like just ever just
Not
embraced
really, because it's not like a curl that I like. It's a really weird curl pattern. But we'll have to.
What do you say?
We'll have
Okay,
to
so
try
do
it
you
and
know like
see.
the numbers? Like is it like
I
3 A,
don't.
B, C?
I
or
have
4
no
A, B, C?
idea. Like you guys, I advocate for criminal justice reform and write books. Like I'm going to leave the hair to you guys.
Right.
I
Yeah.
have no idea.
Yeah, you should let us come and train your curls.
Oh, you can train girls.
you can.
Right,
Okay.
it's all about like knowing the curl pattern and
Okay.
obviously doing certain things to help like with
Define the
curl.
Which
I'll
you
do that.
already have.
I'll do
Right.
that.
Yeah.
I think
It's not
that'll
going to
be
change
neat.
the tech. Well, it can change the texture too, depending on
After a
like,
certain time.
After a certain time, you'll get like really nice curls.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that doesn't mean like when we say nice, that doesn't mean like a certain type of texture though.
Right.
Like you know what I mean, like looser. Because some people got that whole it's gonna be good hair thing.
Yeah, like a lot of
we
people,
don't
I
subscribe
find-
to good hair and everything. Every hair is good as long as it's healthy.
Right.
Hmm.
A lot of people I hear, if I had hair like you, I would wear my curls. And I'm
Right.
like,
What does that mean?
exactly.
yo?
Like to me, it's just like, well, I love all curls. Like
Right.
I'm in love with all curls, and I feel like you can have beautiful curls just healthy.
Yeah,
and
they
it's
could
just
be
how
real
to-
kinky and coarse, and 4C is what they call it, and beautiful, as long as it's healthy.
Well, I think your hair is really cute, and I
Thank
love the
you.
curl pattern, and I love the color. I mean, you just made that happen. So
Thank
I
you.
trust you guys
I
after looking at
appreciate
your
ya.
style. So I'll come and let you guys see what you can do.
Right. And okay, so you obviously like
Yeah, I love. Go ahead.
I mean, you don't wear your real hair, so I don't
I
even know
hardly
why I'm
don't.
asking.
But I used to a lot, you know. But now I'm in a phase where I just want to wear different hairstyles. Like I just want to wear. I like y'all say. Last week I was blonde. Now I'm blue.
Yeah, just
Like I just. Like
That's me.
to-
I like colors. So
Yeah.
that's another reason why I don't necessarily want to wear my hair, because you don't want to keep coloring it and damaging it.
Right.
But when you wear weave, you can wear whatever color you want to wear.
To. You can jack it on up. You can wear lime green on the way down
And
to
be
your
out
booty.
the door. Absolutely.
Right.
Make
Right.
it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm all for it. Like, I just, as
And
long as it's healthy.
As long as it's healthy, and I think that we should.
Like, your hair is healthy under the color.
Yeah. And you're doing all the right things, to maintain your hair.
Yep.
In the interim. Like, you can't just be wearing, like, the weaves and the sew-ins and the lace fronts, and then you're not doing anything to your real hair.
Yep. Got to take care of your hair.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I think, like, wearing a weave or extensions or whatever is like a personal choice. And sometimes like we shame other people, like even men, like, oh, you always have like weave, you always wearing weave, like, and shaming us for whatever reason.
They always got to put their damn 2 cents in it, right?
I know.
Well, I mean, they have their preference and they know what they
Right,
like. So
yeah.
I mean, we have our preference too, right?
Yeah, that's
And
true.
men, I mean, but we're not telling men like you need to lose that belly fat, or you need to, like, I don't feel like we're as on them
guess I'm
as
telling
they
my-
are.
I guess it depends on what it is, right? Because with men, it maybe we'll tell them they better go get some money.
So would you let your man
That
wear-
is true.
Right, that's true.
She has a point.
Right. Would you let your man wear a man weave?
No, why would he need a man weave?
You know,
He's
that's
a
the whole
man.
thing. That's the whole thing.
I know it's the whole thing, but
Yeah.
my man doesn't need it. I mean, he could be bald headed and he would be sexy.
Yeah, but,
I
like-
mean,
Well, what
it's
if he
just-
wanted to wear the weave?
Yeah.
I would probably do the same thing we say men do to us. I would probably be like, you don't need that. Why are you wearing that? No.
Yeah.
So it's still a fair fight.
Right. I mean, I get it, but it's also like, a personal choice. And I think like, we shouldn't judge people for wanting to wear weave.
No, you
Just like
shouldn't
how-
judge anybody for it. No.
Yeah, like we're also shaming now people who relax their hair still because of
Oh.
now, like, oh,
It's a natural movement now.
Natural movement, and you'd be like, oh, you still perm? We were doing
Girl,
not
you
perming.
still do. Girl, don't nobody wear no relaxers no more. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
that,
Right.
and then it's like, no, people still,
And
will
that's
relax
okay.
their hair.
No.
And that's okay if they want to do that.
I'm not in the hair world, so I don't know about that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but you wear your hair curly, right? Like your
I stopped
curls.
relaxing my hair, so
How
I mean,
long?
it's just
how
healthier.
Long have you been natural?
Probably about 2 years now. I mean, it's
okay.
just healthier, but sometimes I like to wear my hair short, and if you wear it short, it's not going to lay down or anything like that. So they will tell you need a perm, but I think that natural is better and it's definitely healthier.
yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, of course, because you could also
So
like
I'm on a natural train too.
with me being
Yeah.
natural, I feel like I can add color to it. I mean, I've never been relaxed, but I've
Right.
always been like, conscious of that. Like if I put a, perm, not perm, relaxer in my hair, then I can't like, do as much
Yeah,
color.
you got to kind of choose. You know what I
Right.
mean?
You
Like
can't
you can't.
sometimes do both.
Yeah, you can't be more playful because you got the chemicals.
Right, right.
What else?
Well, that's mainly it. Like
Yeah.
that's all we had to say about like, I'm fine with wearing my real hair.
Yep, I'm
Yep.
fine
But
with
not
it.
wearing my real hair.
Yep, I'm fine with it. And y'all
I'm
gonna
And
fine.
see
you're
with,
some
fine.
more.
I'm fine with both, either or.
Yeah.
Whatever you feel like doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, just think about if we go to the beach or if we want to go swimming or something like that, then you wouldn't want to wear. Well, a lot of women
Yeah,
wear
some
weave,
people-
but I mean, me, I would prefer to wear my natural hair.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. And then sometimes, like
I'm
you
still gonna
all
be
say,
wigged
you
up at the
want to.
beach.
Yeah, you could do that too, but you just want to feel the air running through your scalp, and just be free sometimes.
Right. Not
I'm gonna
always.
feel the air running through my leave out in the front and my leave out in the back. That's where the air gonna come through.
So are you ever gonna wear your natural hair?
Of course, at some point. I have.
Well, she's
before.
wearing it now. I mean, part of it is out.
Exactly. Part of it is natural.
No, but I know she's like, Soy is the type of person like with all her clients, like, so you gotta wear your natural curls and power to natural hair.
because look, I'm already there. You know what I'm saying? I want them to be there.
Yeah, but you gotta practice what you preach.
But I have practiced what I preached, and in the like, I've been doing this for what, 20 something years, I've been everything. Like I said before, I've been locked. I've been
I want to see.
short
I want
hair.
to see you wearing your natural hair for a whole month.
For home, girl, that's you're not gonna get that,
That
from
is
me.
a long time.
Isn't it?
A whole month?
That's
You can't
4
commit?
weeks. No. Mm-mm.
She can. She doesn't want to.
Yeah, she chooses
I just
not to.
because I just want to look different. Like you see, like how long I wore the blonde and now I'm blue.
Yeah,
Like,
but
I was
you,
like,
but
okay,
you
I'm
wore
over
the
this blonde
brown
bitch.
for longer.
Yeah.
They said, "What's the girl in the yellow's name?" Like that, huh? She pretty.
You can see.
Yeah, I can read from here.
I cannot see nothing.
All right, so let's get into the slipped into the DMs. So we have Daisy from Miami. How can I make my hair shiny without using a whole bunch of product?
Well, I think that if you use like really great shampoos and conditioning and clarifier, your hair will be naturally shiny. Like we don't like when we do our clients, everything we do is in a bowl, and then we hardly ever
And the hydrator, too.
And the hydrator,
Yeah.
right? That's a very good point. Like we rarely have to put any products in the hair. Right before we blow dry or
Yeah.
whatever we do in the hair.
We never do.
We never do, yeah. And the hair is extremely shiny.
Shiny.
So it depends on what you're doing. Like you have to do everything in the bowl. Like everything, all of your good stuff that you use is in the bowl.
And having you like using good products, not just any product. Like,
Yeah.
because some products are heavy in the hair, and you know they just gonna sit on top of your hair, and then when you're blow drying the hair,
You see the blue
the
smoke.
blue smoke, and then like that kind of like makes it kind of like
It weighs it down.
weighs it down, and it makes it like, how do you say it? I can say it in Spanish. I can't say it
dull.
in, exactly.
It
It
makes
looks
it dull.
just dull.
Yeah, say it in
Right.
Spanish.
Say it in Spanish. Opaco.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's our 2 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. All right, so
All right, let's get into it.
let's get it
Drum
into
roll.
it. With Angela,
Awesome.
she discusses her truth about being a black conservative.
Yep.
So go for it. So I know you want to jump in.
Okay, what's my first question? Okay.
Uh-oh.
So
Dun, 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 dun.
So we know the statement, "Make America Great Again," right? So you know how like the other side interprets that, like "Make America Great Again." Why do you feel like? I would just ask you, how do you interpret that statement? Because
That's what I was gonna say.
'cause I looked at-
Interpretation is different.
It's different because I looked at your page, you know, and I like did my research.
Being nosy.
I sure did. I did my research.
Right.
So I looked at your page and I just wanted to know, like, to be fair, like, I want to, instead of just judging and being like, okay, well, let me see what is the interpretation of "Make America Great Again."
Well, I think that everybody's interpretation of "Make America Great Again" is different. I think a lot of people, when they say "Make America Great Again," are talking about restoring God, things that went out of the way when Obama was in office, because he came against religious freedom. A lot of people know that our Christians or don't necessarily believe in a man and a man marrying each other or whatever, or taking God out of schools or all of that stuff. A lot of those values, when they say "Make America Great Again," they're talking about restoring God to this nation, restoring order to this nation. To me personally, when they say "Make America Great Again," I think that we should, whether America's ever been great or not, we all Americans, we all live here. Why wouldn't we want this country to be great?
Right.
Even though when T.I. made the statement about when has America been great,
I saw
to me it was hilarious to hear someone that came from the streets just like me and that has built a complete fortress off of
Yes, America has been great for him.
America has been great to him.
Really
But
good.
because of his past, T.I. is an example to show us how great America can be for any of us if we apply ourselves, if we fight for what we believe in, if we work hard. Another reason why I believe America is one of the greatest countries is look what's going on with illegal immigration. If America isn't great, why are all these people fighting to come here? why do we have the Democrats and Republicans fighting against each other over this illegal immigrant issue when they want them to come here and have access to our
How
resources?
do you feel about that?
Yeah, we were going to ask you about that as far as the illegal immigration, because there are talks. I mean, I did listen to the Revolt Summit, panel, and Candace did make a lot of great points.
I agree with
I'm
Candace
not
100%.
either way. I'm not I'm a nomad. Like I'm
Right.
not either Republican, Democratic.
Right.
I feel like to me it's just divisive. The parties in itself. That's just my interpretation of it and my opinion. But she did make a really good point in saying that when people do come into the neighborhoods, it is taken away from certain people's jobs.
I mean, it's
I
taken
mean,
away
it's-
from people's jobs, even when it comes. See, when they do come in, they're not going to the rich, affluent neighborhoods. They're coming into our inner city neighborhoods, our neighborhoods that are already in despair. We already have issues with teachers that are getting underpaid and have 30 and 40 students in their class that they already cannot attend to. But outside of that issue, one of the reasons why I became a conservative is because I saw how the media was manipulating the general public when they come to the whole issue of separating families.
agree.
Now, for myself personally, I've been to prison. I was pregnant when I got arrested. I gave birth to my daughter chained to a bed with a sheriff watching, and then had her snatched out of my arms 24 hours later. So when we talk about family separation, we need to understand that every American that has ever been arrested has been separated from their family.
Right.
That is American law. And they're being separated from their families or from their children because they stepped foot on American soil and they broke the law. They're not being treated any different than we are being treated when we commit a crime. Now, people say, well, they're fleeing or their circumstances. Everybody that's in prison or in jail has a reason as to why they committed a crime. There is no difference in the crimes that they're committing at the border and the single mother that's in the hood that's hustling to take care of her children.
So basically, do you feel like that we should basically turn our attention into our own neighborhoods?
Let me ask you a
and-
question. Let me ask let me give you guys a parable. Do either one of you have children?
Yes.
Okay, so as parents, your responsibility is when you all get paid, let's just say on Friday, your responsibility is to take care of your house first, right? You got to make sure your kids got somewhere to stay. You got to make sure that they eat. Now, that does not mean you won't provide for the children around the corner or down the block.
Of course,
That just means
'cause
that
we're
you
all a
have
village.
a responsibility
Right.
to tend to your children first. If Donald Trump is the parent of America, he has a responsibility to make sure that the American citizens are seen about first. We have 3.5 black children still in poverty, black people in poverty, 3.5 million right here, right?
Right.
Just in our own communities that haven't advanced. So when we talk about illegal immigration or immigration and how this country was built and what this country was built on, I think that black Americans are not trying to make it about race, but are due everything this country has to owe. So we still have people here that are fighting for the American dream. And I'll give you a perfect example. 21 Savage, right? We can take it off of it just being Latinos or Mexicans. 21 Savage is an immigrant. He was just arrested not too long ago for not filling out his proper paperwork. But this is someone that's come from another country and has achieved the American dream. When I got homeboys running around the hood that's been rapping for 15, 20 years trying to make it and still have not put on, do we deserve a shot before someone else? Absolutely, because if we go to their countries, they're not going to do anything for us. Let's just be real. It's not a country that we can go to with our children without the proper documentation, and the same thing will not happen. So it's just asinine and insane for America to believe that we're supposed to treat these people any different than we are actually treated.
Now, was this one of the issues that made you, and collectively, just geared towards the Republican Party, or do you consider yourself a Republican?
I consider myself absolutely a conservative because of the values that I believe in. I think that for me personally, when it comes to Democrats or some of these policies, I think that the left has gone a little too far left when we start talking about having 100 different genders and allowing children to transition.
Now let me tell
Now
you,
that's the issue for me. This is just
that's-
my opinion.
And and that's my it's it's my opinion too. I feel like we should leave the babies alone.
Leave them
I feel
alone.
like
Yeah.
I mean, when I was little, I wanted to be a unicorn.
That's me. I wanted to be a unicorn.
A unicorn.
Right.
And, my mother, okay, so.
And she didn't go put a horn on my forehead.
Right. And I just think leave the
Right.
babies alone. Let them, don't give them hormones
Yep.
and all of this stuff. I think that we're kind of going a little
It's too
astray with
Right,
that
the
one.
way we're
It's too
going.
far.
'Cause
Yeah.
I've heard.
And I mean, even with the whole LBGTQ, which I don't have a problem. I have a son that identifies as gay. I have an aunt that raised me that identifies as gay. So it's not that I do not love gay people. I absolutely
course.
love them. But when I say things have gone too far, first it was LGBTQ. Now it's LGBTQIA plus BZ. Why? What do we keep adding
what's the
on? What do
agenda?
all of these things?
Well,
Absolutely.
I do have a issue because I was watching another interview before, and the guy, like I was telling you, I came into the salon and I was like, this man said on radio that like your genitals do not make you a man
Or a female.
or a woman.
That's
now.
why I'm a Republican, because they're absolutely insane.
Yeah.
That makes
And
no
to
sense
me, that's
whatsoever.
just like it's just confusing now.
And
like
it's
it's
confusing
just
to children
It's just so
as
now
well.
are we gonna be? So now we're just going against science now. So
We're
now
going
we're
against
just
No, but they're
and that
saying
doesn't
going
make
against
they're
nature.
in nature
Right, they're
so-
saying it is science. It's considered science, right? Because it's some sort of in hormonal imbalance that's in the person's whatever, that they're saying okay, well, they were born with a
penis.
or they were born with a vagina, and then they don't they don't see themselves as that, and that's
well, here's the
Okay,
thing,
but
and
that's
that's
mental.
fine.
That's fine,
But you don't
but you
have
don't
to force it
sit
on
the
me.
babies.
No.
Not-
Right. Or me either, or
right.
tell me that I'm homophobic because I do not believe that a man can be a woman or a woman can be a man. I'm not disrespecting you.
Yeah.
You're just not going to force me to believe something
Right.
that I know is not true.
And see,
Right.
the thing is, though, we're kind of doing the same thing. It's like all of these beliefs and these are doing the same thing to each other. So now you want us to accept you, but then you don't give us the right not to agree with that. We can still be. We don't have to agree, but we can still respect each other.
Right,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
Each
other.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I do think that people should tell each other. I think it's somebody else's right.
And I think that that's a part of the issue too. And no disrespect to the trans movement, but when you see a lot of these trans women that have fallen victim to murder or dangerous stuff
It's
like
because
that,
they not telling.
let's take into play and be honest that there are situations where you're not being completely honest with the man and letting him know who you really are, and when he finds out,
he's upset.
It's literally you're taking someone's manhood.
And
Right.
it doesn't. And it listen, you should not. It's wrong to murder someone, of course.
Absolutely.
But
But it's
But
like
it's
having
also
an
wrong to
STD.
take someone's manhood. It's also wrong to rape someone. It's also wrong to lie to people and to trick them into doing things that they haven't
Yeah.
agreed to do. All of that is wrong. So
you
it's
gotta
just
be upfront. I did hear on that same interview where the woman actually said, the trans woman actually said that she feels it like it's her right not to
Right.
say, and that's a problem to me.
And another thing, and as women, I'm really taking a stand for women. Period. We are women. And to have them just say, "Oh, I'm a woman," or "I have to be accepted in everything that women do," that is a lie.
Yeah.
That's a lie. We deserve right to. It's a lot that comes with the woman. We
Right.
fought. There are so many things that we have been through. I mean,
Right.
bearing children. I don't know
Bearing
why anybody would want to be a woman. Lord, I went
And
the other
bleeding
day
once
for
a
a
month.
mammogram, but
Bleeding once a month.
at the end of the day, it is kind of somewhat disrespectful and something else that Candace Owens said that a lot of people hated on her for, but the fatherless homes, even when it comes to the whole homosexual movement, if you don't have, and this is my opinion, if you don't, and I've raised a son, this is my personal opinion from my own experience, but if you don't have a male figure in that home to teach, or because one of the ways that children learn, and I'm studying psychology, is through observational behavior. That's one of the first ways they learn, off of what they see.
See, it's not what you say, it's what you do.
They need that balance, because no person on this earth has been created by two fathers or two mothers. All gay people have a mother and a father.
You need a
so
yin and a
because
yang.
it takes a man and a woman to create life, then I believe that there's a balance there that needs to be kept. And that's another reason why I'm conservative. It's not about hate. It's just about the fact that I understand how important voting is. I know that 30 years from now, I may be dead and gone, but the moves that we make today are going to continue to affect the generations that come behind us.
Okay, so when you speak about voting, a lot of people, including myself, like, you know, and I get a lot of flack for it, like, oh, you're not going to vote or whatever. But I do feel like, you know, a lot of corruption that has been in, you know, government, you know, like shadow, like just, it hasn't been transparent. You know, the government has not been transparent enough for me to want to go out here and feel like my vote is actually going to count. And it's not real. To me, it's not real democracy because it's not transparent.
Well, here's the thing that I want to say: every vote does count, and it is important for us to exercise our votes and make sure that we do vote and encourage others to vote, because we have children that are going to be growing up in this world. The policies, the laws that we set in place is the laws that everybody's going to be governed by, and the laws that society, right, are going to rule society. So you got to think about what type of world do you want your child to live in. But let me finish. Let me finish this. Let me just finish this. It's like saying racism, right? Because I'm a person that firmly says all the time, I will not fight racism. I don't have time to fight racism because I'm sick and tired of what we do to each other, right? But we can fight racism forever. That don't mean that it'll stop it. But that don't mean that we stop fighting. So when it comes to voting, right, we still got to go out. Because when we say we not going to vote, then what happens? Right? People get in the office that we hate, or people get in the office and pass laws that we don't necessarily agree with. You still got to give it a shot. We can't just give up. The reason why we can't give up is because too many people like us fought and died for us to even have the right to vote. So just out of respect for them.
I get it. I don't know. I just feel like to me, like it's just been so much corruption in government that I understand, like, on, like, the local level. I get it on a local level. But when it comes to the federal level, I just feel like, you know, they put people who they want to in office. Like, it's, you know.
And you feel different. You feel like it's more so, like.
I feel like they do. Like, I think
that our vote, I think that we can all see from these last elections how important our votes are and why we need to continue to vote. I mean, it's a lot of stuff in the media, and we guys, all of us work in media. We know how it is. You don't know what you can believe or what you cannot believe.
Exactly, and that's the whole problem. It's like that the veil, you know, because media, they run you know, they are the narrative, you know. They could skew the public's opinion.
He who controls the media controls the masses.
Exactly. Right. You know, so it's like it's gotten to a point where it's like what is real and what is not real. And I think that is a whole agenda in itself, is to confuse the masses so you don't really know.
And that's why we got to use our phones for more than just posting on social media. We all got smartphones now. We all have access to the truth. It's just whether or not we want to try to dig beneath the surface to find out what the truth is.
And I don't think people really want to know the truth.
They don't.
I think the truth is stranger than fiction.
They don't.
I've been down that dark YouTube, honey. I've seen it. Let me tell you. Let me tell you.
Once you woke, you can't go back to sleep.
I'm telling you, like, and that's the reason why, because I've been down that dark, you know, the elite and who really controls the money, you know what I'm saying, and the Federal Reserve and the 1% and all of that. So it's just like, really, America's really a corporation, you know, with the president and all. So it's just like, come on, what we really doing? What we really talking about?
Fight for what you believe in. Fight for what you feel is right, and just never stop. That's all we can do. What else can we do?
Yeah.
What else can we do?
And also, like, you know, just to go back, like, you know, what happened in Puerto Rico, where it wasn't a president, it wasn't in the government that it was recently on the, like, maybe in the summer, early summer.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all didn't see it where
they got locked up for corruption, for stealing all the money, or they was under investigation?
He resigned. I think it was the some guy in Puerto Rico. Don't get me to lie, because I don't watch.
Someone in politics.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
They all stood up. Everybody stood up, and
Oh yeah. I remember that.
Like,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
all
yeah.
marched.
and got him out of there.
right.
Yeah.
So I also believe that if we actually like all marched and we all like cared enough, that it would happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just don't feel like people really care. Like, they say, but nobody gets up and nobody goes and
It's
does.
all hype.
Yeah,
It's all about
like
a post. There's no
yeah.
real action
It's all
behind it.
sound bites.
Right.
But everybody in Puerto Rico went, and he just stepped down.
Right.
You know, so why we can't do that? What about when, some other posts, everybody, we do other things. You know what I'm saying? So we just got to stick together and actually
Because we
make a
stuck
change.
together when we talked about that damn Chick-fil-A versus Popeyes burger.
Right,
I'm
exactly.
telling you,
You know?
made Popeyes filthy rich
Right.
again.
right.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the whole gun control and them taking, and do you feel like we have the right to bear arms?
I mean, here's the thing.
It's rhetorical, but,
let's
you know.
be let's just be logical for a moment.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm in a classroom and both of your children are in my class. I'm the teacher, and the gunman comes in with the gun to shoot and kill us. The only defense I have, or only chance I got at saving myself and your children, is if I have a gun.
Right.
The only thing that can stop a damn fool with a gun
But a teacher
is somebody
can't bring
else
a
with a
gun to
gun.
school.
And so, but
Yeah,
what I'm
they
saying
can't.
is, why would we not want to be armed? You understand? You can't bring a knife to a gunfight. And then not only that, why were the slaves for so long? Because they didn't have weapons.
Because they had guns.
They couldn't protect themselves. Why are we gonna allow the government to disarm us? If
Right.
we all are in fear that Trump gonna, like they say, and I know this a lie, but Trump gonna round us all up and send us back to Africa. They finna send in martial law. Why are we disarming ourselves?
Yeah.
It doesn't even make any sense.
We can't
Right.
defend ourselves against the
You
government
can't.
if
You can't.
know.
So why would
Yeah.
you give up your guns?
But I think they're
Right.
talking about the
And you know how
what's the
many of them?
names?
You know how many AR-15s?
Yeah, AR-15s.
But you know how many of them out on the street? Like, even if you got a regular little handgun and you run into somebody that got an AR-15, here's the thing. The bad guys are not going to hand in their guns. The only people that's going to hand in guns are law-abiding citizens. So
Right.
then you're going to be set defenseless because ain't nobody giving up.
Yeah.
Criminals are not giving up their guns.
Right.
Right.
So who
'Cause
you
they can
taking the
easily get
guns?
those.
Who you taking the guns from?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Not from us.
So we got to figure out another way to go about that. That's not going to work.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Like, it's like you can't like if you go and disarm us, then you got to disarm the government too.
That's what everybody got to be
Everybody gotta-
disarmed.
everybody
Come on,
gotta
how you
just-
gonna do that? You cannot. You
yeah.
can't bite a bullet. Can you? I
No,
can't.
You can't.
Right.
Don't make sense.
We got to go back to Spears.
So no. So I'm with the president when it comes to the guns. That they need to keep their guns. Absolutely.
How do you feel about like people choosing for women when it comes to like having?
So let's talk
Abortion,
about
Roe
that.
versus Wade.
So let's talk
Yeah.
about that. First of all, the black community has been lied to. We have not done our research in regards to abortion to know that the founder, Margaret Sanger, was a racist. And she said
She
that
was into
black
eugenics.
people needed to be exterminated like weeds. So then when they created Planned Parenthood, they started placing all the abortion clinics in minority areas.
That's very true.
So now, as of today, we have 46% of the black population that has never been born, right? So that's half our population gone. They were murdered before they even had a chance to live. So when they say women having a choice, that's just a pretty word that they gave to cover it up to make it easy, right? Because they
Right.
sold us this lie to make us think that our lives would be better off if we don't have children. So let's just talk about it. Even if it is a choice, what is the choice? I'm choosing death for my child. Because if I don't abort that baby, that child will live. Now, how many Barack Obamas have we aborted? How many Martin Luther King Jr.'s have we aborted?
Right.
And I've had an abortion in the past. I just want to say that I'm not perfect. I'm not down on anyone. But how long are we going to continue to do the same thing when we know that 20 million black lives have been aborted because of abortion?
Well, I'm familiar with the Planned Parenthood thing and the eugenics. Like I said, I did my YouTube research on that dark road of, extermination.
And selling the baby
population
body
control
parts and
fetus
all of that
babies
stuff.
And all of that stuff. And it's dark, and I believe that that's, the case, like, population control.
It is
But-
population control.
But I do believe that, if there is a woman who is in a situation where she's been raped, or even like she's in a situation where she just doesn't, she can't capable of taking care of that baby.
Here's the thing.
Well,
Here's
if
the
she's
thing.
not
Hold
capable
on.
to have the child, then she can
Give the baby up for adoption. Because here's the thing. But
listen,
but who wants to murder their kids? See, we don't look at it as a life because it's in the womb. If we wouldn't murder our children outside of the womb, why would we murder our children in the womb? And what we're not realizing as humans is that every human life has come into this earth the same way from the beginning of conception. We're all created the same way. Another thing is that none of the people that are advocating for abortion have ever been aborted. No one, no person advocating for someone else to not have a right to life has ever been aborted. Who are we to say? Because even as mothers, we're making a decision for someone else's life.
And this is personal, you don't have to answer, but like when you made that choice to have an abortion, did you feel like...
I bought the lie. I didn't think it was a life. I didn't think that it was a child. All I thought that it was a that's it, because that's the lie that they give us. But see, technology has advanced now, and they're able to go inside, and we're able to see these little babies and see their little hands and see. It's true they may not be able to live outside of the womb, but that's the whole purpose of human span. So it's like, I feel bad for what I've done, absolutely, but I'm not going to sit and be silent and not warn other women coming behind me, because those babies never leave. So you may forget about it for a couple of years, but 20 years from now, you're going to come back and you're going to be reminded, right? It's a baby. Because here's the thing, if it's not a life, then why do we need an abortion to kill it?
I get you.
I think the choice needs to be made prior to getting pregnant, because if we don't create the life, we don't have to worry about ending the life. And then even in rape, because you said something about rape, and I'll share a story with you after this. But
men telling other women what to do with their body
but
parts,
men are the one that told you to kill your baby, because Roe versus Wade were all white men. So they're the ones that said, here, abort your baby. And Title X funding was designed specifically for low-income communities. It says it. You can go look it up. That was us. But even in the instance of rape, someone innocent is still dying. Like, you can't kill the person that raped you. Right? And so I have people in my family that have been conceived from rape. And they're older now, they're grown, they have children, they have a separate life. We're still talking about lives that have been created. Once you become pregnant, like, think about it like this. When the first time when you get pregnant, let's say if we want the baby and you find out you're pregnant, what's the first thing we say? Oh, I'm having a baby. But the minute you don't want the baby, it's not a baby. It's a baby. It's a baby. And I think that the factors...
I understand. We kind of pick and choose when we want it to be
a baby.
Convenient for us, our advantage. I'm totally pro-life, and I also understand, other women who make that choice, like I just...
And there's no judgment. It's just to say now that technology has advanced and we know what it is, do we continue doing the same thing? Because even when it comes to the black community, one of the things we got to understand is how low our numbers are. We got mass incarceration, right? Which a lot of black men are locked up. If they're incarcerated, they're not out here reproducing. We have homosexuality. This is nothing against them, but homosexuality does not reproduce, okay? And then you have the men that are out here on the streets that are involved in gang violence, killing each other, or being involved in police shootings where they're ending up dead. And then you got us aborting all our children. What do we have left? In 30 years from now, the black vote is going to be non-existent. That's why the Democrats are fighting so hard for illegal immigrants to come here. Because for one thing, they don't believe in abortion. And their numbers are strong. They're like how we used to be. Like when I was younger, my grandmother on my mother's side had 10 children. My grandmother on my father's side had 9 children. We had big families. Look how we have been reduced just in one generation. Now we start aborting our babies and we only got 2 children here, 2 children there. They're strength in numbers. And we're losing.
That's 100% true, because I've even in certain clinics, like I see like a lot of, Hispanics, Latinos, whatever.
And
it is,
it's black and brown people. And I mean, they've lied to us to make us think that abortion is healthcare. And it's like, I'm a woman. My body was designed to give birth. My body wasn't designed for someone to go inside of me with an instrument and rip my baby out. You understand where I'm coming from? They've completely lied to us. How do I know 20 years from now that one of those children that I could have given birth to was going to be the one to get me and my family out of poverty? Like, you don't know who God put in you. We don't know who these children are, even your babies, because I know you guys are probably younger than me. They're still babies. Like, they haven't grown up yet. You guys don't know who they're going to be. My first baby that I had at 15 years old, my father wanted me to have an abortion. My mother had to kidnap me, literally, and hide me from my father. My baby graduated 3 years ago from Howard.
Wow.
She's a corporate attorney in Washington, D.C. I'm sorry, y'all.
Go ahead.
They got to get this juice. My baby is a corporate attorney now, in Washington, D.C., working for World Bank. So it's like, not that I would have to pick up the phone and call her, but she's an asset to this family. She's getting ready to buy my father a home. I mean, anytime her brothers or sisters need something, we just don't know who God put in us. We don't know if it's the cure for cancer, it's the next president, Barack Obama, Martin Luther King Jr. Their moms didn't know who they were carrying.
Yeah.
Right.
So they've tricked us to do the dirty work for them, because every time we abort one of our children, it's one less nigga for them to worry about.
Yeah.
Where the DJ at? Can you play the song by Dr. Dre? One less nigga gotta worry about. One less. No, seriously,
it's true in the arts. But listen, like, I get it, because like, even, it was a whole thing back in the day where, you had to, in order for you to get a certain, help from the government, like, you could not have a man in the household.
Section 8. That was the beginning of family separation right there, and get us stuck. And I'm glad you brought that up, because that's another reason why I became conservative, because when I was released from prison back in 2005, I was given a $25 check and a bus ticket and told, here, go start your life over. Well, my mother and grandmother had both died while I was incarcerated.
Wow.
The fathers of my children were in prison. So when I came home to nothing more than 2 tombstones, my mother and one, grandmother and other, and 4 children. So I'm someone who nobody wanted to give a job because I was a convicted felon, right? I couldn't get any housing assistance because I was a convicted felon. And then I couldn't get any welfare, right? Because there are certain programs you cannot have if you're a convicted felon. But guess what that did to me? That made me get up off my ass and start my own business. So today I am financially free. But had I been able to accept those benefits.
So you think that it's a crutch, basically? It's a crutch.
I know that it's a crutch because I've watched my cousins and people in my family that I've grown up with.
Absolutely.
So you think the $1,000 that's one of the parties is
to keep you stuck.
To keep you
stuck.
Know
why? Because I get dependent. So that's just like our children. Our children depend on us for everything. So if my father is paying my rent every month and I know that he's gonna pay my rent every month,
it's gonna make you lax.
It's gonna make me lax, and I'm not going to discover my full potential because I got someone giving me everything. But when my mom passed away and when those benefits got cut off and when I was looking at those children and they talking about mom, I'm hungry, I had to figure out, Angela,
you had to get up out the mud.
What?
I get it, because I mean that's just life anyway. Like if you don't go through certain things, certain hardships in life, it's not going to make you wiser. It's not going to change who you are. You know?
Pain is only going to get you stronger. When I had my son a long time ago.
It wasn't that long ago.
12 years ago. That's a long time.
He's still a baby, though.
He is still a baby. But, like, I was working, and then, like, when I got pregnant, I got on disability, and I went on welfare. And then, like, they want you, like, you can't make a certain amount of money.
Oh,
like,
they're going to kick you off.
Yeah. Right. You got to be, like, lie to them, and how long can you lie to them? And to me, it was just like, I can't do this shit for the rest of my life. I got to go. You know what I'm saying? I got to get my own money. I can't, you can't tell me.
And for that person that's afraid to step out, because some people like, what am I going to do? I don't have any other options. Like for me, back then, I didn't necessarily have the education that I felt like I needed to start a new business. But I thought about what my God-given gift was. My God-given gift was writing. We all have gifts inside of us that we can turn into profitable businesses.
Absolutely.
So I didn't have to go back to school. It didn't take all of this, per se, capital to start my business. I discovered my greatness. That's what Black people need. That's what we need.
And we're
we need
smart
to
as
be
hell.
financially
Smart.
free.
That's
And
what it-
until we are financially free, we are never, right, gonna climb out of this rut that
Well,
we're in.
I always say, you know, no one's gonna help us but us. I mean, that's it.
And
Like,
then
no,
when
there's
you-
there's not gonna be a big savior that's gonna come along.
But when they send us people that
and
want to help us and people that's really, really for us and for the Black community, we hate them. Here's my thing. People got to stop hating me for my affiliation to the president. Right? And I say that because of this.
You do get a
God
lot.
strategically places everybody where they need to be. You understand where I'm coming from? I can sit here all day. I can talk to Shirley Franklin, Shirley Kirkland, all of them about getting
All the
somebody out of
Shirleys.
jail, but don't now one of them have a key to let nobody out of prison. Harriet Tubman wasn't afraid of racists. She wasn't. Do you think that she was in fear? Do you think she let fear stop her from going to make a movement on behalf of her people? So even
Nah,
if,
she
let's
went
just
back.
say we playing football and we on defense, everybody can't be in the same spot. We got to be
Right.
spread out. Somebody got to be over here. Somebody got to be over there. So it's like when God is giving us favor, you understand where I'm going? You ain't got to like the person that's blessing you.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't have to like you for you to bless me.
Right.
And you ain't got to like me to bless me.
Right.
But God's still doing his work. So I would be a sellout if I didn't operate in my season of favor and say, oh, I don't like these people, or my people don't like these people, so I'm not finna go in here and go sit down to the table and advocate on our behalf.
Right.
I would be a real sellout because at the end of the day, God has given me favor with this administration, so why not use my voice to advocate on behalf of my people?
Yeah.
To this date, we got almost 7,000 people free because of the First Step Act.
I was just gonna say that.
$25 billion to HBCUs, opportunity zones all across America for our communities. Black unemployment rate is the lowest it has ever been in history. We're moving on behalf of Black people, but you cannot see it because everything is so divisive and everything is driven by
Yeah.
hate.
That's
It
it.
is. What was I going to say? I was going to say something about the opportunity zones. I forgot that because it was another point I think that T.I. did bring up, and he said that it wasn't us that was profiting off of those zones. I don't know.
Well, for one, you can't listen to T.I. because T.I. ain't been to the White House and said in their opportunity zone conference meeting or nothing. T.I. just running his mouth. I've been there. We can profit, but how can we profit? We have to have ownership. We have to get out there and handle. They do the same things we have the opportunity to do, but we just don't have the necessary access
we
to
need
the
to flip these
information.
houses,
We can
huh?
create our own opportunity fund. We got enough Black entertainers. We got enough Black people getting money now,
Yeah.
where there's no reason why we don't have our own city or we don't have our own town or we don't have Black Wall Street.
Tulsa
Do these people
again.
really
Yeah.
care? Because it's enough money out
I
there.
believe it's enough money to have
So
Tulsa.
everybody
if
just
everybody
talking.
get
Get together. Do you think that it will be co-opted again? Like, you know, like, because it seems like when we do these things, and I mean, history has told, like when we do get together, it just seems like, you know,
I think
it's
I
co-opt
think
all the time.
now I will not denounce white supremacy or say that it does not exist. But what I will say is this: to me, I think that it's more important for us to focus on how we treat each other, how we can build each other up, how we can bring peace and harmony and love back to each other. Because I'm not going to sit here and fight with my brothers all day. Like, I don't get called a coon and a sellout and a house nigga and all that stuff from people on the Republican side.
Yeah.
I only get
It's
called
us.
those names from my own people. I don't get called a B and told that I hope you die and woo.
Yeah.
None of that comes from that side. It comes from this side. As far as betrayal and racism and holding people back, from my own story, I've seen just like with the Revolt Summit. Like everybody know Angela, I've been in this city forever. I've been doing community service for 15 years, dropout risk prevention programs, doing all of this stuff. Y'all would skip over me and bring somebody else to my city, and it was kind of like you wouldn't give me the opportunity to have a voice and explain to you why I'm doing this, but I'm operating right here. So when we talk about people being banned and shunned, it come from my own community. Like everything they trying to tell me they do is my community doing it to me.
Right.
What about so in that case, do you feel like a reparations would hold us back too? You don't feel like they owe
I
us
think that
the starting point because they did get a hell of
of
a start.
I think that reparations, I think that some people do need reparations. And I think that reparations don't always necessarily have to be in the start of money. My thing is this, nothing from nothing leaves nothing. Like, I understand the struggle and the plight of a mother living from check to check and never having enough money to put down to start a business, or never having enough money to put down to buy that home. So that jump start, I think that what we missed out on is when our people were slaves, that passage of generational wealth. There was nothing to leave us. So we came in here already
with
in
a deficit.
debt.
With a deficit.
And so how do you come up from that? I think that even in our communities now, when we see the Arabs or we see Asians or whatever owning gas stations or owning beauty supply stores and they making, that's a form of reparations. Give us access to those loans and to those grants for us to be able to put businesses in our own communities. Reparations can come in all different type of forms of fashion. Do black people need a jump? Absolutely. Why? Because we're still at the bottom. It's been, 400 years now? Yeah. For some reason, the black community still has not gotten it. When you look at all of these other communities that come here, these other ethnicities of people, they thrive. We can go all up and down Buford Highway, and we don't see nothing but the Hispanics. They got plazas there. They got businesses. They got grocery stores. They're doing their thing. Where is that at in the black community?
Right.
So as I think at this point, we need to start having accountability, because the finger pointing is getting played out.
And like you said, like, I think a lot of, celebrities with money can help other people that are in need, instead of, like, talking all this shit that they
That's all they do. That's all they do. And at the same time, contributing to our demise. Like, come on, your whole career been about pushing drugs and prostitution and gang violence into our community. Our children are listening. If you all believe that Donald Trump has enough power to influence racist people to be racist, then you need to know that we got enough power to influence our children to be drug dealers, to be thoughts, to be gang bangers. So we need to start having some accountability
with
for what it is
in our own community.
We do.
That's where I'm at, and that's why I'm a conservative, and I love all my people, and it ain't no hate, but it's like Van Jones told me one day. He said it's like two wings on the same bird. He said, we can go this way, you can go too far left, you can go this way and go too far right. We need each other to balance each other out. So politics is important, and your vote is important too, because you're not doing it for you, you're doing it for your children. Like, we got a case in Texas right now where a mother and a father are battling, and they got twins, a set of boys. The little boy think he's a little girl, want to be a little girl. The father has been ordered by the court. I want to say they're about 7 years old. Wow. The father has been ordered by the court to address the boy as a female, to let him wear female clothes, and they're even considering forcing the father to pay for the child's transition. No.
This is right now?
Right now.
Transition is as far as like hormones to the baby?
Wow. Have him transition into a girl.
I don't agree with that. Like I said
they
before,
don't even know what time they want to go to bed. They don't know what they want to eat. They don't know nothing.
They don't know anything. They might want to be a bulldozer. Like, who the hell?
See, my son, one day he wants to be a soccer player. One day he wants to be a basketball player, and he wants to do different things.
Yeah, they got to leave the babies alone.
Just like in that interview, one of the guys was saying, like, when there's two lines, like the boys and the girls, you guys line up, kids. And he was like, that kids shouldn't line up, that they should have just like, they
can have a free for all. Like, whatever I want to be, okay.
And then and when you guys get a chance, there's a video on my page I posted the other day of Joe Biden. He's leading the Democratic Party. Joe Biden said that in prison, you should be able to be whatever you identify with. So I know I've been to prison. I don't know about nobody else, but there's a reason why you have male prisoners and female prisoners.
Yes, because men are physically more stronger than, even if...
Not even that. People get raped. People get molested. People get pregnant. You don't want this type of stuff going on in prisons. It's not. It's inappropriate. So why would we allow somebody to just say, oh, I'm a male, and it's really a female and go to the prison, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Right.
And even that conversation came up in sports, where I think it was like this story where this guy was like on the wrestling, and he had an advantage because he was trans.
That's
But-
another reason why
and it's
we
just
gotta
like
vote.
it's not
a trans man,
and
so
it's not-
they don't succeed against the men.
Then
so then they
go to the
transition
woman,
and come
go
to the women and,
and-
then win everything. How fair
How?
is that?
That's
to
not
women?
fair at all.
I don't want my
agree with
daughter
that.
boxing or fighting somebody that
That's-
that say they're a woman but used to
Right.
be a man. Cause
Right.
I can't say that on camera what would happen, but we all know somebody be trying to advocate to get me out of jail because at the end of the day, you still a man.
Yeah.
You don't have
Right.
no business putting your hands on a woman. And then I put up another video of this girl that just got beat by Arabs, right? But when you see her, it's
Oh,
like,
I
Oh
seen
yeah,
that.
we saw that.
I
but
seen
what
that
I'm
on
saying is,
your
but y'all
thing.
steady fighting for equality.
Yeah.
You want to be treated like a man.
Right.
No, you don't, sis.
Yeah.
No, you don't. You think you do until you run up on a man for real, and then
Right.
here come the equality that you've been asking for.
Right. I feel
Yeah,
I
like
gotta
I'm
start
not
thinking.
ultra feminist and all of that. I don't think that the feminist movement was not for us.
It went way too far.
It went way too far. Anything that just goes way too far is just like y'all doing way too much.
Too
Right.
much.
Y'all doing too much. Like
Too
then
much.
you
And
step
we all
in.
gotta live in this world together,
Right.
right?
yeah. Oh, like you said, together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's why we need to vote and come to common ground and have these conversations. So
Yeah.
and now
And you
after
can-
what you guys have seen, because I know you guys are probably like, oh, a little skeptical and heard what
Oh,
I
no.
say. Like, what
I
do you
mean-
guys think now?
I mean, I already I'm like I said, like I'm not liberal, I'm not Republican, I'm not, Democratic.
Yeah.
I'm just,
Look, I don't even follow it.
I just me too.
Right.
Me too. So
And
I
that's just my honest opinion. I
It's-
just don't. Like, I know Soy had a lot to say about it more. She had all the questions. But,
I
like,
did.
I want to hear what everybody has to say, like, because I like, there's always two sides of the story.
Yep.
Exactly.
And we gotta learn to listen and
Yeah,
learn.
because even like I wanted to hear, everyone was hating on at the summit on Candace, but then when she spoke, she made a lot of sense. Like she was saying, like Killer Mike said, she was saying the same shit that Malcolm X was saying.
Farrakhan, yep.
Right.
Yeah, Farrakhan.
Right.
So I mean,
it is
What would
what
you
it is.
what would be your take? Like, what would you have to say to the black community? What would you say to them to kind of like bring us together?
I think that the black community needs to realize that we've been voting Democrat for the past 50, 60 years, and it has gotten us absolutely nowhere. And I think that the definition of insanity is to continue to do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. I would tell the black community to wake up, do their research, understand that the Democratic Party was founded by the KKK. They have never been the party of liberation. So when everybody says, hey, there was a party switch, what actually happened was, just to give them a quick rundown, Martin Luther King Jr. got arrested here in Georgia. When he got arrested here in Georgia, Nixon was the president at the time, and Nixon wouldn't move to go get Martin out. So Granddaddy said, Martin's father said, I got a suitcase full of votes for anyone that gets my son out of prison. Kennedy, who was a congressman here in Georgia at the time, called the Georgia governor. They got Martin out of prison. Kennedy ran as a Democratic president. When he ran as a Democratic president, everybody followed him because he got Martin out of jail. But what happened was, the founding principles never changed.
yeah.
Republicans are the ones that freed the slaves. Republicans are the ones that gave them voting rights. Republicans are the ones that made them citizens. Anytime that there is a civil movement, if we research history, Democrats have always been against it. Anytime that you have a party where every candidate is advocating for full-term abortion and they want to fully fund it and pay for it, never trust a party that wants to pay for you to slaughter your children.
Right.
That's the bottom line.
Do your research, people. I've been down
Yeah.
that dark that dark YouTube, and it's a trip.
And do something about it once you find out the
Yeah.
truth.
Yeah. Make a change.
Yep.
I'm hungry, y'all.
This was good, Angela.
Thank you.
We not all political and all,
It's
but
okay. Every once in a while.
we just some hair girls, but we like to talk
Right.
about this type of stuff, 'cause
Yeah, we like
especially
salon
me.
talk.
Yeah, it is salon talk. Because
We
I'm
talk
always
about stuff like this all
yeah.
the time.
And I'm like super, super like into like, conspiracy theories and stuff like
Yeah,
that. 'Cause
I
a lot
love
of the
that. Be
conspiracy
careful.
I know. But a lot of it be true though. Like if you do your research, a lot of it's kind of
Yeah.
scary.
Yep.
You
There's
know.
a lot going on in this world.
It
That's
sure
why
is.
I just
Stranger
consider
than
myself to be
fiction.
a crown chaser. So I'm just every woman I speak to, and I give a different perspective on abortion. And I got plenty of babies that have been born that I've been able to advocate for them to live. And I just think that if we were created, then we have a purpose to be here.
Yes, I believe that.
And as queens, as black women, we know that we have been sent here to replenish the earth. We need to start having our babies. Our children are not curses, they're blessings. You remember back in the day, children were considered to be a blessing. Now they're making it seem like almost as children are a curse. That's a lie.
Yeah.
Well, we're just, we're living in the times where the outer is more important than the inner. It's about face value instead of what's in the inside. It's everything is for, we're consumers. We're consuming and producing. That's what they want from us. So.
Yeah.
You gotta wake up.
Well,
y'all gotta stay woke.
Ladies.
Where can they find you?
Oh, so you guys, I am on Instagram, the Angela Stanton. On Facebook, Angela Stanton King. You guys can also log on to my website, check out what we're doing with the organization American King Foundation, and that's www.theakf.org.
And we'll have it down below in these
the description.
Yeah, description.
Yep.
That's the word I'm looking for.
And you wrote a book?
Our families. I've written several. I actually have a publishing company here. I've published over 100 authors, but my most notable piece of work is Life of a Real Housewife, which is my own personal story about my release from prison and how I was framed by Phaedra Parks and her husband and all of that stuff.
You got that tea? I'm going to have to check you out.
Yeah, I haven't.
Oh, no.
I know. I'm so behind.
Just out now, literally have gone from prison all the way to the palace. I mean, just advocating to get people home, to reunite our families. We got people locked up, served 20, 30 years for marijuana, and marijuana legal now. I mean, these children have grown up without fathers. Like the black community, they crying about
they all
illegal
need to get
immigrants
out
at the border. No, you need to be fighting with me to get your people out.
Right.
Yeah,
Right,
sure
and
do.
reunite them.
Yeah.
Right.
And put them in, make them have some what you call it? Some
family reunification.
Yeah, and what you call it? The where you
What?
get the weed in
Dispensaries?
Cali.
Dispensaries.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why can't I
that'd be a
find my
good
words
thing.
today?
That's what we want.
That's what you need to do. Get them out and have them set them up a
people come home
with a
Come
dispensary.
On, man. The people at the border are usually only locked up for 20 days. They got to go through process, and we got people been locked up 20 years. We need to fight for our people.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna eat.
We calling you
first,
out.
hold
Hold up. We just
Okay,
got
okay.
two more things. We're gonna talk about this foolery we see here.
We calling you out.
We calling you out.
We gonna get into this girl,
Homegirl.
cutting her bangs and thinking she's doing something
with basically, and y'all gonna see this in the video. And she did it with a
at least
clippers.
it's not her hair. At least it's a wig.
Yeah.
But yeah, we calling you out. We have a few of them, like a few people.
And this
doing
one
it.
cut herself. She didn't
cut
even have
herself.
any shears. She had home scissors.
Guys, it's okay to go to a
Just go to a professional. Even if you need a bang trim. Just come on in. We got you.
Exactly. It's what you gonna charge them?
Like $10.
If that.
Yeah, if that.
Look,
Come
I
on.
got you for $5. Don't
For a
do
bang
it
shit.
yourself.
Just don't do it for yourself.
Stop
Come
doing
on
that
now.
shit. Yourself. And what's your closing quote?
My closing hair quote is, if you have color, you're natural, but you're not chemical free. Think about it.
Ooh.
All right, y'all.
All right, y'all.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for
watching.
watching. Thanks, Angela, again for coming.
Thank you guys so
This
much
has
for
been
having me. I
fun.
really enjoyed it.
Yes, you're welcome back anytime.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Peace, love, and light.
Yep.